y'all, I'm Miss Stacy. Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and I'm going to be going to the gun range. So I have a few long guns that need to be dusted off and taken for some rounds here. So we're going to get going on that. It's been a while. I was raised around guns since I was a little girl. My grandpa was a gunsmith in the Army, and I used to live with them. And he had guns around the corner everywhere. So like, he would answer the door with a gun, and I used to sit there and watch him make weapons. Like, he was a gunsmith in the Army, so he would make them make knives and make his own bullets and stuff. But anyways, he taught me how to shoot, and I was in 4-H, and I got my hunting license back then. And he died when I was 15. So after that, I just had my my basic 22 and shotgun just for security purpose, home security. I'm a huge advocate for exercising your Second Amendment rights. Like, it's really, really important, especially when you live in California. There's a lot of people that exercise their Second Amendment rights here. Nobody talks about it. They talk about how, restrictive we are, California is, and it's true. And it's usually the big cities, like people in LA and San Francisco, that rule the majority for some reason, when most of California is like me. Probably most of us are, like, I'm in the Central Valley. My grandparents came from Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl, and we got a lot of, country folk and cowboys and just regular people that, want to exercise the Second Amendment. We're not all like city folk that want to throw restrictions on law-abiding citizens. My goodness gracious. So, yeah, I think it's really important, if you do live in California, not to move away. Why don't you stay here and, exercise your rights? So, we have, I guess you want to move to a better state. I understand that. But maybe if you stay here and make it better, it'd be better for all of us. But, so, I really believe that everyone needs to do this. Everyone that believes in the Second Amendment, or not believes, because it's your God-given right. It's there. It's non-changeable. You can't change it no matter what you want to do, people. Can't change it. Let's pretend you got rid of all weapons. Well, do you know, it's pretty simple to make a gun, guys. The black market would be, outrageous. You would have undercover guns all over the place. They would be unsafe, and criminals would still have them, and then a lot of abiding citizens would be defenseless. It really is just, it's like, guns aren't really harmful until you put a bullet in it, people. So, it's just a hammer. Here's a cylinder and a hammer that goes pop, and that's how it is. And if you're, if you do, if it will never happen. You can never happen. Amendments are untouchable by any body of government. It's there to protect us as people, especially the Second Amendment against tyranny, against your own government. Goodness gracious, if you know your history, that's what we fought for, the freedom. And, the people used weapons to do that, and people immigrate here from other countries in the past to be able to have those freedoms, to be able to be freedom from their government. So, historically, it's something that is necessary, and might not be necessary now, but you don't know the future, especially with all the stuff that's happened. You never knew that was going to happen. You can't predict anything. It's better to have it and not need it, and then need it and not have it, right? So, if you believe in it, if you want to exercise those rights and you believe in exercising those rights, I think everybody needs to go get one and just have it. I've had mine for years and I haven't touched it. But you gotta take it out of the closet once in a while just to go get it, shoot a little bit and clean it and then put it back in the safe. They're safe queens. So, I mean, these are just my opinions, my thoughts. I'm not like a political person. I'm not controversial. This is just my viewpoints. And I mean, you have a right to not, and I have a right too. You know, like I'm not gonna get upset with you for not. I'm just saying you should. So, and even if like you didn't, like if you believe in it and but you don't feel comfortable, you just the weapon is nothing without the ammo, right? And you just keep your weapon locked up and your ammo far, far away and forget about it. And you'll never have to touch it. It's good to, it's advisable to be able to know how to use it, you know, to go take it to the gun range, use it once in a while. But if it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, then at least like put it far away up in the attic, or at least have it. I say have it just in case one day you need it. You just never know. So, and you know, it's very tragic when people disobey the law and go on like a rampage and just like are very sick and unwell and do like mass shootings, and it's very, very sad and tragic. But just because that happens doesn't mean you need to throw blame on people that are law-abiding like me and other and many, many hundreds of people that do exercise our rights to carry arms. So, you know, it's far more important for us to maintain the Second Amendment, because the first thing government does is disarm the people in other countries, and look what happens. If you do your research, you'll know. So, especially history proves, that's why people made America in the first place. We all came here for a reason. From from Ireland. Irish people came here for a reason. You know, Germans, Czechoslovakians, which I am. You know, there's, it's really nice to be able to have all these rights in America and keep them. That's what makes America great. And you don't want government regulating that. We are, I can go on and on. So the funny thing is when something really tragic happens like that by people that disobey the law, you want to put more laws on the people that are law-abiding to regulate firearms. It doesn't make sense, because the person that broke the law committed this crime. You're going to put a law to prevent it. They just break the law. They just broke the law. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. They're breaking the law by doing this, and they're not well. And then you're going to put more laws thinking you're going to regulate the person that broke the law. It's just like asinine. So I'm saying you just need to be responsible about it and learn gun safety. It's hugely important. I think it should be taught. I think it should be optional in high school, instead of treated like it's something bad and to be scared of. That's what makes it more dangerous, is you taking away people's rights and regulations and stuff. It makes it way more dangerous, because I can't, if you regulate a law-abiding person like me and make it like where, let's say I have my carry conceal, and make it where I can't defend myself in certain areas, and then something like a lunatic comes in with his own weapon that's not abiding the law, that's defying the law, the very law that you put in place to prevent this, but it's not going to work because he's a criminal and criminals don't follow the law, and keep me from being able to defend myself. And you want me to like hire out, basically contract out my own safety. Like, you want me to rely on someone else to keep me safe, when clearly, I live in the country and it takes a very long time for someone to even get here. Or if I'm in a situation, God forbid, that I would have to defend myself and may not be able to because of your micro laws that are putting regulations on, like micromanaging people like me to keep from bad things happening, which we all know the bad things happen by people that have broke the law to do it in the first place. Like, and how did they get a hold of the weapons? Well, you know what? That just happens, and you know, you can't throw the blame on everybody else in that, you know, want to exercise those rights. That's just all I'm saying. And you know, there are people that in this world that you know, need help, and there's other places that that need, like, there's other parts in this that need more action than gun control. Gun control is the least of your worries. Goodness gracious. Like, it's such the silliest thing. Why don't you focus on helping people that need help when they need it, or teen bullying, or a lot of things start from youth. You know, we need to put the focus on where it needs to be. And maybe, you know, parents that need to raise their kids and teach their kids. Like I said, I have the opinion that maybe it should be optional with parent permission, like part of school curriculum, like maybe self-defense course, the laws, self-defense laws, like safety, all of that. That way there wouldn't be accidents. That way, knowledge is power, people, and you want to be ignorant and then be like scared of something that shouldn't be scary. It's like a ballpoint pen, you know, when you have a pen in your purse and it won't work unless you push the pen thing to write with. It's the same thing. Like, you're in charge of the weapon. It's not going to go off accidentally. You're in charge as long as the trigger, you don't pull the trigger, you're in it. You know, it's all about the load, you know. I advise getting lessons and stuff, or, you know, or studying up on it. YouTube is really good about that. Now, if you can't afford to go have those, because it can be expensive to have private lessons, YouTube has a lot of good safety things. So, even teachers, like, I think if teachers, our schools, had a required course on gun safety and gun handling, if they have the option to be able to do that, this is just a thought. Like, maybe you could protect the children better. Like, I homeschooled my kids because I didn't trust my children's safety in public schools until they were older and they were able to think for themselves and care for themselves. I let them go to high school. I mean, a class of 50, it's very small, rural high school. But they are able to I taught them to take care of themselves. When they're kids, like, you know, a lot of you people who have your kids in public schools and you're trusting them with your kids' safety. And, you know, it'd just be nice I would like to have a teacher that would, I had a teacher when I was in 6th grade. He was ex-military. He was the best teacher. And I knew that, like, if anything were to happen, he because he's military, he knows you know how to handle it. So I always felt safe in that class. He was just the best teacher. Anyways, I'm saying that teachers need to have training like this. It would be awesome. And then be able to, maybe if you could, my daughter was saying also idea, like, what if you had like weapons training and then had a weapon that was put in a safe for emergencies so the teachers could use it. But maybe have it where there was my daughter was saying, like, maybe where it was master locked up, only like the principal could unlock it for everyone, like a main control room. So when the emergency arises, the principal would be able to unlock it specifically for all of them, for the teachers. That would be something to think about. I mean, you have fire alarms, you have like axes in places to like break this in emergency, something like that. Who knows? But something to think about. I think education, putting money towards more education and support of the Second Amendment is way more important than regulating it. My opinion. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the shooting range. I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm gonna go do that, and then I did decide, because of these new regulations, I've been thinking about getting my CCW, And I just never did it because I have been busy with life and things that took precedence and priority. But now, like, I love going to the range. It's so fun. And it's, you know, it's good to be empowered to be able to, it's like me when I process my own food. Like, it's powerful to know that I can feed myself. It's empowering to know that I can defend myself. And I'm just saying, I've been in situations that were no good. When, as a female, I think it's important to be able to defend myself. I don't know what it is about me. I just attract weirdos, like horrible. Like I've been in situations where I'm lucky I got out of. I was assaulted when I was in high school, but that's a whole different story. And then, just like people come up to me. And like if I'm without my husband, it's just like I attract homeless people. They always want to come ask for money, and then they're unsavory characters. When my kids were younger, a couple incidences happened where I was taking the back road home from. I lived in the rural area, and I was taking a back road home. And we had no cell phones or anything back then. I just got my first one this year, but it wasn't even a thing really when my kids were younger because you had to be rich to have them. It was expensive. But so I took a back road home and my tire popped. And I remember how we just went grocery shopping, had ice cream and Taco Bell. It was summertime. And then this person that I knew didn't speak, like, okay, this person, when they look at you like with lecherous eyes and like just want to like, you just know when you sense, you got to trust your instinct. You sense as a female, you know this and you know, I was fairly attractive in my youth, but so I would always get weird attention. And anyways, he came up to us and he didn't speak any English. Like he was like he was broken English. I could tell he probably wasn't even American, and he was trying to get me to go with him. He's saying he was trying to pretend he was going to help me. I just knew it. I just knew I was like in trouble. I don't know why. Like I have a hard time. I'm always trying to be polite. Like I don't know. I think this is something that was just raised in me. Like why do I have to feel like even when I'm in a bad situation, I'm afraid to be rude. Like I was young. I was like a 22 maybe. So like I'm taught to be really nice, even if that person's making me feel uncomfortable. I'm taught to be nice. It's like very hard for me to be assertive. And like I think that's also what I get myself in situations because I'm too nice, and then it's like I get in awkward positions where I feel like I have to be nice and get out of it in a nice way without offending the person that's offending me and putting me like in a dangerous position. Anyways, like I just don't understand. I'm getting better at it. I've been working at it and I'm getting better. Like I remember when I was trying to assert myself and learn to be like more like my husband. My husband's not a nice person if you mess with him. So my kids were like, Mom, you're so rude. But like I was trying to balance being nice and then I would be rude. I don't know. But anyways, this was a situation. I was young and I wasn't like, I was so scared. I didn't know self-defense. I didn't know any, like I couldn't have defended myself. I was ingrained in being polite and trying to not offend the person while I was feeling like I was in danger. And I started crying and my kids were in the car. My daughter says she remembers this. The guy was like looking through the window like he wanted to do something bad to her. And a lady, I was praying to God. I just was praying. You know, there's a few times in my life where I really, really, really reached out to God and prayed for help, and He has answered each and every one of those times, like 4 different times. And thank goodness this lady pulls up out of nowhere and says, you need help. She knew I needed help. She had her kids in a van and she knew it. I was like such relieved, and the guy was so disappointed. I could tell he was so upset that she came, and I just hurried up and got my kids and got in the car and we just took off. and that was, I just left my car there, and I just took off, and we were safe, and she dropped me off. Never got hurt. I don't even remember who she is. She was an angel that came out of nowhere. But situations like those, like, that would have been helpful to have my own firearm, you know? Like, I was very lucky. And just because, like, I'm going to go get my CCW, you know, especially with these new laws pushing me to, into action, really, before it gets too hard. It's something I've been wanting to get done. Because every time I get in situations, like, I've had to put people have stalked me in parking lots where I had to crawl through the passenger door with my kids, shut the door before they got to us, and take off. And you know, just because I will get my CCW, and just because I have it doesn't mean I'm going to act any differently. I will do absolutely every single thing I have done in the past to avoid these situations, to be safe, because I will never want to use it. Just because you have it doesn't mean you want to use it. So I will never, ever, ever, not going to want to have to use it. But it's there if I need it. You know, I would do everything possible to avoid any type of controversy, and I will only use it to protect myself or my children. Or, like, if just situational, but I mean, what if I needed that at those times? And I said, I'm going to still continue to be, I'm trying to be a bit more rude now instead of nice. Nicely get in my car and, you know, and be nice so I don't offend the person that's going to hurt me. Like, it's just so crazy, but it's just, like, so ingrained in me to be nice. It's, like, rude. I don't know why I can't, like, you know, even older men would give me hugs, like, make me feel uncomfortable. This has nothing to do with defense, but I'm saying it about rudeness. Like, I'm always like, oh, thank you, you know, nice to meet you, or like, oh, okay. But instead of being like, excuse me, like, I need to be like, excuse me, get away, or, you know, be more like clear on the front instead of being polite and, you know, afraid to make the person feel uncomfortable when they're clearly making me feel uncomfortable. And I taught my daughter totally differently. I taught her, I'm so proud of her. She's very assertive, and she's like more like her dad. She will tell you, you know, but then she also wants to not be rude. So she has a little bit of that, she, you know, in me, but yeah, she's nice also like me. So she's a little bit in between, but she's more sort of like her daddy. But she's still sweet. That's how I'm trying to be more, you know, proactive on protecting my comfort level. Anyways, so there was another time, I was in Toys R Us, and Shandon was a baby. He was a beautiful towhead little baby, and this person was stalking me in the toy store, and he was I knew he wasn't, like, I don't understand why when in these situations that I feel like they were not from America and wanted to take me, or my child. Like, I swear, you know, I just know it. You can't tell me any different, because I just know the feeling of being in danger. And I was trying to pretend, I got my calculator and pretending it was a cell phone, because I didn't have one, and pretending, I was like, hey, Sean, you know, pretending on the phone and trying to find, he was in the store far, far away with my other kids. And he was following me, and everywhere I turned, I just knew he wanted to get me alone. And finally, Sean came. I think the guy knew I was faking. And then Sean came around the corner, and then he, like I felt like the guy turned around and went right away. So this is saying for females, it's very important, I think, to be able to have those rights of you know, I've gotten in situations like many times like that. I hear my turkey's calling me outside. And but anyways, like, I have neighbors, I don't know, like, when I had neighbors even come to my house and try to one time we lived in a residential area when we bought our first home. I had a neighbor literally peek over the fence and try to ask me to lift my shirt up. It was the weirdest thing. And my husband, we moved. I don't know. So one more story of an incident just recently with Bit in the car. We were on our way back from Special Olympics. I think it was track practice, and we stopped at a McDonald's on the way home in the city, and they told us to go park in the parking lot and or to wait for our food because we had we didn't order online because we don't do that. So we sat there and I had my windows down because it was summer, and there was a ruckus going on across the way, and a bunch of police driving around, and like there's a bunch of dust because it was in a empty parking lot by a restaurant. And I was like, what in the world's going on over there? And then I was thinking, I'm glad it's over there and not here. And I'm watching, and then I see like helicopters coming, and then all of a sudden I see this kid comes running across the street from that dust up, and I'm watching him run like, oh, is it a kid in trouble? He's running from the cops. But then I see him running towards me with a gun in his hand. And I said, oh shit, he has a gun. And my windows are down, and this is why I hate electric windows. You can't roll it up super fast. So I'm like, trying to, it seems so slow motion, trying to roll this window up before the dude gets to me because he's coming head on. And he hasn't made eye contact. He's just running towards this way. So, and I tell Bit, get down. And to get down, low. I don't know what else to do. I'm trying to roll the window up. And then he gets towards the car, and then he makes eye contact with me, and I'm like, don't you dare. I know, I knew what he was thinking. He was thinking he was going to try to take my car, because my car window is down. He can easily reach over and try to get in. But I gave him, I don't know if I could repeat that look, but I gave him, you better not look. And he did a stutter step, like indecision, do I do it or not? And I'm like, oh my God, please don't. In my head, but I'm looking at him, don't you mess with me. And he stutter stepped, then decided to bypass my car and went into the grocery store behind me. I don't think he saw a Bit. I think I told Bit to get down. But and then there was then I was like, I'm out of here. I started hearing gunshots, so the police started rolling up. I was like, I better get out of here before they start blocking the parking lot off where I couldn't leave. I wasn't going to want to stay there for this. And so I got out of there right before they stopped everybody from leaving and coming and going. So, but yeah, it turned out on the news it was an all-day thing. He was hiding in the grocery store. But that is an incident where I could use CCW. What if he took my car? He had a weapon, So that was a life-threatening potential situation. Thank goodness it didn't happen. Knock on wood, praise the Lord. But that was the incident specifically recently that I was like, you know what? I really got to do this, and I just been dragging my feet. And I gotta get it done because now these new stinking laws people are putting in are gonna make it harder for people like me that want to protect themselves against, for some reason, these situations that come my way. but it's just something I feel in my heart I need to do. So we're gonna do it. And I'm no stranger to, like I said, to owning guns or having protection, because I have, I live in the country, and I feel very, very comfortable and happy that I have 12 gauge and 22. I've always had those. It's easy. I have, and then there's not a what I have thing, because I just have little I just don't want to sit here and be like, this is what kind of weapon I have. I don't need to share that. Maybe when I go to the range or something you'll see, but I won't go into too much specifics. At least I don't plan to. So anyways, yeah, and even if, so I feel very comfortable. I purchased, I have my handgun, and I purchased another one to work with, and then instead of just carrying around on the property like I do, and you don't see in videos, but I carry like when I'm out in the field and stuff, because we have predators and I have weird people walking around my area sometimes. You think it's safe in the country, but sometimes you get weirdos walking around. And then I do live on a busy street though, and that's why I feel safer living on the busy street. Because I can always run out and tell people, hey, I need help. But then I have my dogs, which are first line of defense. I have 4 shepherds for a reason. I could never live life without a dog. I've had a dog my entire life as protection. Yeah, so I had a dog ever since I was little, as protection. Because there was a situation I was in with my mom when we were younger. So then I had, a couple German shepherds. They were house protection for me, bodyguards for me, and then I've always had a dog. Except for there's one moment when we lived in an apartment, we didn't have any animals for a few months, and then my mom remarried. We had the shepherds when we lived with my grandparents. Anyways, yeah, and then we had dogs. So there's like maybe a year total in my life I've never had a dog, I think. But, and during those times, those little times when I first got married, we didn't have a dog. It just, like, the smallest little noises in the house, you get scared. So that's why I need a dog to keep me from getting scared at the little things. Because they're going to let me know if something's up. Anyways, yeah, first line defense in my home is my shepherds. After that, it's up to me. But even, I have those weapons for that purpose. And then, I used to go hunting, but mainly for home defense. But now, it's nice to be able to, if I leave my house, protect myself. But even if I was a stranger to owning guns, you don't have to know to do this. You can be, you could be someone that's never been exposed, and if you haven't, you've probably been taught that it's not a good thing and it's wrong, and you haven't been taught the proper way. You've been probably scared from it, and it's a good idea. It's okay. You can start out. You don't have to know anything. You go get lessons. It's always good to go get lessons, and YouTube has a lot of lessons too. You just make sure you learn the right way instead of developing bad habits. But yeah, so there's that story. And yeah, it was that last incident that's like, I gotta do this, but then they're changing these laws, and I gotta hurry up and get it done before it makes it impossible for me to do it. So all my kids have been raised also with gun safety and all of that. Even when they're little with squirt guns, you tell them don't put your finger on the trigger. It's just like training, and then just for safety and things. And my son's a Marine for 5 years and in the Army, so of course we advocate for our rights because he's fighting for them. And then there's my daughter. She has gone to the gun range, and she's she's where she's at in Florida going to college, and they have different gun laws, but yeah, she exercises her right, and they're all safe. Shandon, when he was younger, was schooled in safety. He actually has a BB gun that he would practice and shoot. Before he got sick, he was able to do that, and he loved it, and he did archery and everything. But when you go to the gun ranges, they have children tournaments. There's little kids from like 2 years up with parents teaching them. Like they have, it's it's very safe when you are taught the safe ways. So yeah, it's really like those people that are taking their kids to the gun range at a young age, or you don't have to do that, but you could teach them when they're older. But it's just they're those kids are learning safety. They're taught the right way. So it's very rare, extremely, extremely rare for children that are brought up in that environment to, you know, hurt themselves or others. So people, like, this place is dangerous, especially for females, and it, you know, regardless if you're attractive or not. But like I'm saying, if you are any kind of a looker or have any curves or anything, you know, you're always someone's forte. or you know what I'm trying to say. There's someone out there that is the, you know, someone's piece of cake. So I just really want to go get that, and because I thought as I get older it would stop, but it still happens. Like and I don't leave my house often. I don't understand, but I just want to be able to have peace of mind. So that's what I'm going to go do that. But those are my thoughts on, you know, why I think everyone should, like, just go. If, you know, if everyone exercises the right, it's harder to take those rights away. It's like we had a 17-car pileup with a lot of dead people, you know, that was horrible too, but we're not regulating cars. I mean, there's more death from so many things that, you know, these horrific shootings are sensationalized. There's, you know, it's like, it's not a good thing, but it's like car accidents are a daily thing. I mean, it's just life. You know, alcohol, drunk driving, drugs. I mean, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Actually, I don't think weapons are as lethal as everything else. Like when you're talking about, you know, death toll yearly. Okay, I think there's other things that, you know, drug companies, pharmaceuticals. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. You know, everyone has their own opinions, and doesn't mean I'm right. Like, I am right, but it doesn't mean like I don't want to argue with anybody. I'm not, you know, like, if you don't believe in exercising your Second Amendment, that's fine. Just don't try to put your beliefs on, you know, take away other people's rights, because you could be the cause of those deaths. Have you ever thought about that? You could be actually causing more catastrophes by regulating the people that need it. So, all right. So I'm gonna go to the gun range and dust off my long guns, and then I am going to take a basic gun class also for a handgun, and I'll show you footage. All right, guys. We'll roll the footage. All right, guys. So I'm ready to go. Going to the gun range. These dogs. So this is what I'm wearing. So y'all, if you're interested in what I'm wearing, here, honey, hold this. So I got just a flannel shirt. It's like 50 degrees outside. T-shirt underneath. I have a holster that I'm gonna wear, but here we got pockets. Make sure you have pockets. Got leggings underneath here. I have some leggings on order that have like a belt and pockets, but all the leggings I have no pockets, so I don't want to wear them. Anyways, got this, and we're gonna go to gun range, and got my stuff going on. My gun bag. I'm not gonna show my guns, but that's what we're doing. Alright, guys. I don't know if you can see that view. It's super pretty. My car drives itself. So I'm able to take some video. It's so cool. But yeah, this is on the way to the range. The range is in the Sierra Nevada, because I live right by Sierra Forest. So the range is in the Sierra National Forest, because that's where I live, right in the flatlands under the Sierra National Forest. So pretty. I love the drive. It's so beautiful. I'm back from the gun range and I had a good time. I love going there. It's been a while, so I shot my long guns. I have a few of those, knocked the cobwebs off of those, and then I took a basic handgun course. You know, I've shot long guns my entire life and only handguns I think a couple of times. So I wanted to break in my new handgun before I got my CCW. I did really good, learned, you know, brushed up on basic skills and handgun safety, of course. That's like way important. And then range safety. It's just a little bit different. Shooting with a handgun is different than the long gun for sure. So loading, unloading, you know, safety procedures. So it was really, really good. It was like a 5-hour course. Fun day. So I have to show you my targets. They use cards to help you focus. And so this is the first card. Look at that. I do pretty good for not being, you know, expert or nothing. So, and then this is my second card. Did really good. And then, you know, had a few little strays, but still on the body shots. And then I didn't want to, I'm not trying to do headshots. Didn't want to, I was focusing always on the center. Because in a self-defense situation, that's where your aim is, right? So then here is speed shooting and one-handed strong, you know, one-handed shooting, because you need to practice that too. So we did strong hand, just a couple, and weak hand, a couple, and then speed shooting. So yeah, from I think 25 yards, or the one-handed was 10 yards, the speed shooting was 25. So did really, really good. And that's it. And then I'll probably do a video like after I get my CCW on like the process in that class. But this, I really just wanted to be prepared for that. And you know, once I develop interest in something, I have to become an expert, you know what I mean? I have to know everything. Yep, so it was a really good experience. Learned a lot. You always can learn. You never know everything. You're always a learning. So even if you're an expert, take something like this. Basic classes are a good refresher, and you might learn something new. Every teacher's different. So up next is my CCW course, and I'm fully prepared. And I just got to do pretty much know all the laws. But I like to study, and I like to know everything. So I'm going to do some studying beforehand just to make sure I know exactly all the details. Okie dokie, guys. You'll see this when I'm done with that process. And then I'll do another video probably on the course, and who knows. I'll just talk to you later. Peace.